All right, so we did our debut of Gripe of the Week last week, and many of you messaged us and said we should have something that balances out the negative with the positive. So this is our positive spin in a segment that we like to call Moments That Move Us. And seeing that I literally just got back from Ann Arbor, Michigan, after a wonderful marathon, I think the number one thing that I will say for this week of moments that move me specifically, I never used to be a fan of the room decorations. I used to be the guy that says, you know what, as long as there's good dancers here, I could dance in a cardboard box, on a cardboard box, like in the most bland place. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but it does matter.
I've always said
It
that. You're
does
like,
matter.
I've always said that. That's why I
It
spent
ma-
so much time on decorations at Tango Me and everything I've done. And you're like, Rob, it doesn't matter.
it,
It goes full circle now.
it matters. It kind
Actually,
of matters.
you know what I think it is? I think it's now the organizers have really stepped up their game and put a lot, because back then decorations was just like something you get from Party City, and it was like oh,
Hey, I
okay.
love the Party City. Our Tango house parties, that's where we went our number one place.
Yeah, but what I mean is, see, if you get stuff from Party City, it doesn't yeah, it might look nice, it might look nicer, but you don't really appreciate the ambiance it builds until when you start really seeing people put in the effort. And the first time I heard you mention the ambiance was last SoCal.
Yeah, that blew me away too.
So, because we've had many different things, like people just hang fabric, do all this other stuff, which still looks nice. But I think when you actually see what excellent ambiance looks like,
Yeah.
then you really appreciate it. I mean, because right now, you've only had, let's say, good fried chicken. You never had filet mignon yet. Now filet mignon comes out, you're like, oh, 5 stars,
Because in the dance, I'm just not focused on those things, right? I'm focused with my partner. I'm focused with the music. The ambiance and the surroundings is the last thing on my mind, unless it's the immediate people around me, of course. But not necessarily the lights, the way it's fixated, and things like that.
No, for me. It's the first thing I notice because I walk in and it
You
makes
feel a certain way?
No, it makes my mood. It's like when you go to a party and it's kind of like it's like a kegger and you're like, oh, it's just a kegger, But then you walk into a nice party, it's like, and the decoration is really nice, it's very thoughtful. It just shows how much thought and appreciation people put into it. Then it makes me turn my mood around a lot more. It elevates my mood. So I agree with you, and I think it's one of those things that people overlook and take for granted.
Definitely.
But it makes a big difference when you do it well. And I have to say, when you do it well.
What's your moment that moved you this week?
Ooh, we talk a lot about practice. Here's the NBA thing. We're talking about practice. Now, I am talking about practice. And one of the things that I liked was, generally when people say, hey, what'd you think? Can you give me some feedback? And when it goes well, I just go, well, I don't know what to give you because, you're on balance, the pivots feel fine. So I say a lot of positive things because I don't, but they're looking for something negative sometimes. They're looking for what can I work on? I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
But I give a whole bunch of positive what I thought, and they still ask me. And the moment that really moved me was, most of the time people would just take the positive, get their gold star, and walk away.
Sure.
But there have been times when people recently they asked me, okay, but
What else?
Yeah, no, but okay, but what would you like me to do? What would you like me? What would you like to see? I did all the basics correct.
Right.
But what would you like to see me, or what would you like to see in our dance?
I like that reshaping of
Yeah, and that was like, oh, now you're thinking about our dance, not just what can I do to make sure my checklist is off, and that to me says, this person really wants to improve, not just hit all the checkbox, and that was a moment that moved me.
That's really interesting because I think that, yeah, I'm so, because I feel like the negative thing is just going to bring a downer, and then something that, I might say this and then you might take it the wrong way. So I like this refocusing, reshaping of like, what would you like me to see more of out of us as a couple or between our dancing?
Yeah.
That not only puts the onus on both of us, but it also kind of yeah, it gets away from this like, here's all the things you're doing wrong, and I don't like your dancing this because of this, and this. And so yeah, I think that's a
And also the reframing
Yes.
is also like it reframes it of not as I'm an authority. It's kind of like, hey, by the way, if we want to be good partners, what would that look like? And
Yeah.
maybe this person was
It's
trying to
more exploratory.
yeah, and maybe this person was trying to open the door of maybe like a future partnership or whatnot. But I think yeah, actually, that's a good way. If a lady is looking to be partners with somebody, that's a good opening. No, seriously,
It's a good
'cause-
pickup line.
yeah, it's a partner pickup lines. Our
Partner
next
pickup line.
our next segment. No,
Nice.
but no, seriously, I think like I really appreciated that framing, and I really appreciated that someone's really interested in hearing what I appreciate and what they can do to fill that gap. So that's something that I really appreciate, and that is a moment that moved me.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let us know what you think about your own moments that move you, because we would like to know, because maybe, yeah, we'll find something interesting to cover, and maybe you might inspire us for a different segment in an upcoming week. But yeah, let us know some of the moments that you moved you recently, and thank you so much for watching our latest segment, Moments That Move Us.